go. Here we go, y'all.
How's everybody doing? Good to see you. All
Hey,
right.
it's gonna be packed. Yeah,
Welcome to
okay, cool.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
That's
We
what I was
appreciate you all
wondering. I
being
was
here.
wondering if it was just gonna be mad.
We've had a lot of press conferences. This will be the last one for a while. But we're excited to be here today. I want to thank you for being here. Thank the fans for joining us on the stream. Another exciting day in Atlanta Falcons history. Want to recognize our owner, Arthur Blank, head coach, Kevin Stefanski, and our CEO, Greg Beatles, as well as Josh Blank. All served on the search committee for this hire. We're going to start with opening statements, first from Matt Ryan, and then we'll go to Ian Cunningham, and then we'll open it up to questions. Matt?
All right, thank you, Brett. I want to start by saying thank you to the search committee. It's been a busy couple of weeks, for sure. But I said it in the last press conference for Kevin as well. Their tireless effort and attention to detail, was inspiring for me to be a part of and to see from them. And I think the fruits of that labor are here in Kevin and both Ian. So a big thank you to them. A big thank you to Arthur for his guidance during the process. My first time going through both searches, and his wisdom and guidance was extremely helpful. So thank you very much. Now to Ian. We are excited to have Ian as a part of the Atlanta Falcons. His time frame in the league starts at the same time as mine, 2008, where he started with the Baltimore Ravens and spent the seasons from 2008 to 2016 in Baltimore. Went from the very beginning, the entering spots, and worked his way up as an area scout in both the Southeast and the Southwest during his time in Baltimore. From there, he moved on to Philadelphia from 2017 to 2021. And served in various capacities for the Eagles during that time. And then in 2022, became a Chicago Bear and was the assistant general manager in Chicago the last 4 seasons. We are really excited about all of those experiences. He learned from incredible general managers during those stops, whether that be Ozzie Newsome and Eric DeCosta in Baltimore, Howie Roseman in Philadelphia, and Ryan Poles in Chicago. I think that was one of the biggest selling points for.
No. Look at all 3 of those teams he just named. He said Chicago, Philly, and Baltimore. All those teams emphasize trenches down there.
For us on Ian was his experience in all areas of scouting. He has touched it all. And I think from the general manager position, an understanding of what those positions go through and what the expectations for them are was very important to us through that process. So we are really excited about the experience that he brings to the Atlanta Falcons. Big congratulations to his family, his wife Justine, daughters Elliot Rooney and son Niall, and he's got some extended family here as well. We hope you can all celebrate this experience with him and have had a good time the last couple of days here in Atlanta. We're excited to have you a part of the Falcons family. So with that, I will pass it off to Ian and say thank you very much for coming here. We're excited to have you a part of the Atlanta Falcons.
Appreciate you, Matt. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. I'm just taking this in for a second. This is pretty special.
I bet.
To come back home. To come back home to a franchise who grew up watching right up. Before I get going, I'd like to thank Arthur and the Blank family for entrusting me this leadership role to work alongside Greg and Matt and Kevin to help push us forward and push this organization forward. So thank you for that. I'd like to thank the search committee along with Matt and Greg, Russ and Webster, along with some others. It was a thorough process, a detailed process.
I remember mentioning it in one of my
is it lagging,
interviews,
lagging behind? It seems
how
like he's
appreciative I
talking and
was
then his
to be a
mouth is
part of that
moving
process.
after
And
the
I
fact.
knew,
It
along
don't
with
look like
other
it's his thing.
things, I wanted to be a part of this organization because of their process and their attention to detail, their intentionality behind things. So
It's another black
thank
man
you
hired.
for that.
So, you know.
Matt just touched it. We're in the award season, so I have a lot of thank yous, but I won't get into too many. But just want to start with Steve Bisciotti, Ozzie Newsome, Eric DaCosta, the Baltimore Ravens organization. They took a chance on a 22, 23-year-old knucklehead, gave me a job, taught me the way, taught me what scouting was from the ground up. Forever grateful and indebted to them for believing in me. And I want to say thank you to Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, the Eagles organization for everything that they've done for me, allowing me to be a director of scouting or director of college scouting and working my way up in leadership roles. But also teaching me the nuances of the game from a different lens, and roster construction and team building. And I'd like to say thank you to George McCaskey, Kevin Warren, Ted Phillips, Ryan Poles, and the Bears organization. It's been a long 4 years. They've wrapped their arms around me, gave me an opportunity when they never gave an opportunity to assistant GM, and that storied franchise's history. Forever appreciative of that and thankful for them, and especially Ryan. Obviously, Matt has a longer relationship with him, but we went through the fire together, and we started off a little rocky, and to be able to come out the other end this past season with the NFC North title, the journey, that was fun. That was fun to be a part of. So thank you there. And then all the players that have been a part of this ride, I wouldn't be here without them. All the success that they showed on the field allowed us success. It's always about the players. It's going to be always about the players. So I want to thank them as well. My Wynn family who's here, Clint Dowdle, Andy Hansen, Jocks McClendon, thank you for your belief in me. I appreciate that. And lastly, my family. My dad's in the back, where he's always in the back every single game. When I was growing up, he was always in the back. So he's still in the back. Love you, man. Thank you. It's been a fun ride. His wife, Debbie, thank you. My mom, who couldn't be here. My Aunt Cheryl, who's like a mother to me. She's been on this journey the whole way. So thank you for that. And then my family. Elliot, Rooney, and Niall, you guys are my why. You're my purpose. Thank you.
And it's a
the
big
sacrifices that you guys
Georgia.
make every day. Thank you.
So to come back and be like a part of
There's this thing that, people say, the best thing in life you can give your family, your kids, is time. Unfortunately, in this business, we don't have a lot of time to give. You guys know that as well. But I try to be intentional with that time. I try to maximize that time. But, the best thing in life that I could ever give you guys is your mom. So, Justine, love you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your support. Dang, I got choked up, man.
Well done. Well done.
All right. We'll open up for questions. Thank you.
We'll go to questions. We have mics on both sides with Matt and Jarvis. Please state your name and affiliation and who your question is for. And we'll start right over here in front with Matt.
And let's see.
This question is for Ian. Jarvis Davis of Locked On Sports Atlanta. Ian, you talked about how Howie Roseman and Ozzie Newsome and Ryan Poles had an effect on you. How do you feel your...
Bro, why do y'all do that? Why? Like, why are y'all putting a freaking commercial right in the middle of a video, bro? And now I can't even hear the freaking question. I can't even question all the way.
Right, and
y'all goofy
if I can be half as good as them, that's what I'm striving for. I'm trying to be as good as them. But yeah, you learn a little bit of everything from all your people that you come across, and having Oz and Howie and Eric and Ryan, amongst others.
Guys that he worked
learned a lot from them.
I'm pretty sure that's what.
I'll go to Tori and then to Mark Ramondi.
Hey, Ian. Tori McElhaney, AtlantaFalcons.com. I found a old newspaper clipping from 2007. I believe it was December 2007. Richmond Dispatch Times, Dispatch?
Richmond
Yeah.
Times Dispatch.
Yeah, it was right before your final game of your football playing career in college. And in that, you and your dad both said that the goal was to become a general manager one day. I know you've kind of gone through your whole career thanking people, but when you look back on kind of that person, what would you say to that person now sitting here today achieving that?
Oh, great question. Oh, man. You know, I actually learned what a general manager was because my dad was, you know, I grew up in the sports and entertainment business because of my dad. So I got a chance to know that there were other opportunities, other avenues outside of just coaching and playing. And I learned that probably around this time when I was living here, like middle school, high school.
Oh, no cap.
So I always knew I wanted to be a general manager since, you know, those days. And I thought I'd have a little bit longer playing career like this guy, but I didn't. I wasn't very good. So, but I knew I wanted to get into roster building and team construction. And I'd probably tell that guy we did it. You know, you stay true to your values. You did it the right way. I'm sure you wanted it to happen a lot longer or a lot quicker, but it happened in the right time. And I've learned a lot along the way, and I'm appreciative of that.
Mark Raimondi, and then hometown Brandon Leak.
Hey, and Mark Raimondi with ESPN. How are you? Congrats.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Matt and Kevin were up here talking last week about, you know, the vision for this team, and two of the big words they used were smart and physical. How can that vision kind of take shape from a personnel standpoint, would you say?
Oh, that's what we're going to be. We're going to be smart, tough, physical, mentally and physically tough, right? And that's a part of the process that we're going to instill and input with our scouting staff, both college and pro scouting. We're going to look at those things along the way during our college trips and through the evaluation process. You know, talking to different people at different schools and watching tape. I think you can kind of see some of those things when you evaluate the tape. But that's what we're going to be. That's what we're going to be built on.
Home team.
Here you go, Coach. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank
Home team, Brandon Leak from Sports Radio 680 The Fan. You have been in championship organizations with the Baltimore Ravens and the Eagles. Is there a common DNA, a championship DNA that's common between winning and making the entire journey through a Super Bowl win? And what are the things you've learned during your time in both of those organizations that you personally could use as amplification of those things you've already learned?
Yeah, great question, Brandon. It's kind of what we just talked
Bring a
about there.
championship mindset,
Smart, tough,
mentality.
physical. We're going to build through the trenches. If you look at all those teams, that's the philosophy.
I just said that. I literally
Draft,
just
develop, and
said
retain.
that.
That's
Not
going to
too
be our
long.
philosophy here too.
That is crazy. Crazy. I literally just said that for like just a minute ago. Watch Ravens, Eagles, and the Bears, which all three of the teams he's part of. They talk about trenches. That's what we.
You can't
And
have
so-
enough draft picks. We did that in Baltimore. You want to retain your own. So that's what we're going to do.
Remember
Those
what
are
he just said.
common themes that they both had.
Ain't
So,
your own.
We'll
so
bring that
Kyle
here as well.
Pitts ain't going nowhere.
Miles
Tyler
and over to Joe
Algier
Patrick.
might not be going nowhere.
Hey, Ian,
That's the two
Miles
names
Garrett,
that
Fox
at
5
least-
Sports. Welcome back to Atlanta.
What's
and welcome
good?
back
What's
to
good,
Roswell.
Money? What's
Thank you.
good?
Spot. You obviously mentioned the people you worked with,
He's-
Ozzie Newsome, Ryan Poles,
the
Howie
interview
Roseman.
just
Was
started,
there one
and ain't,
specific element that you took from all those guys
Like,
that you want to
when you
implement
get a
in your
chance to
own
go back and rewatch
journey
it,
now as general
you
manager of the
probably,
Falcons?
if you're watching it now or listening now, you
The
probably only
discipline.
missed maybe
They
one or
have
two
discipline
questions.
in different
So
ways.
far, What he's been
But at
saying
the end
matches
of the
up
day,
with what
it's discipline to the process,
Matt
the plan.
and Kevin has been saying about
You've got to always,
trench work.
you know, be
They just
prepared to
really
pivot.
ain't got too deep off into it yet.
But the process and
still
the
here.
plan are critical, and I've learned that from all three of those guys.
We got Joe, and then
Right
Mark
now, they
Snow,
kind
and
of just
Allison.
asking them background
I have one for
questions
each, if
and
that's
stuff
okay.
about-
Ian, I just wanted to just know, I know you mentioned that you're from here, kind of have some memories of watching the Falcons. I was just curious about that. And then for Matt, I also wanted to ask, when you're going through all of these interviews with potential GMs, they're all, you know, very well respected and credentialed. So what are exactly you trying to tease out out of all of these interviews, and what separated Ian?
Want me to go first? Sure. Yeah. Growing up here, I literally
got a
got
guy
my
that's
first
from
pair of dress
here,
shoes at
and
Friedman Shoes right downtown,
about
right around the corner, right? My family has
he got a championship with
bricks
Baltimore.
in Centennial Park. You know,
Remember that? I think it was 2012.
I remember, you know, back in the mid '90s, you know, Chris Chandler, Jamal Anderson. I was offensive lineman, so Bob Whitfield, right?
He was a part of the Ravens.
This husky kid in my kitchen trying to do the dirty bird.
So,
you know, still can't do it. My daughter's a dancer. I'm sure she'll teach me one day. But those are the memories I had, you know, growing up here. And the city was electric. It was on fire during the mid '90s with the Olympics and the Braves. So. Those are core memories that I hope that I can be a small part of bringing back to the city.
Down there, the whole Georgia team.
Yeah, I think from my perspective and our perspective as a search committee, we were looking for somebody in this position that was well-versed in terms of their experience and has touched all of the different parts of scouting. That was something that was important for us because there's a lot that falls under you know, Ian's control. And so you want somebody who is comfortable, who understands,
look at what
you know, each individual's role
last year.
In his department. So that was something that was really big. Aligned vision on how to build a football team, of what wins games, and the type of players that you want to bring into the building. That was something that was really important to us. And then I think the digging and diving was on the process of what does his process look like? How's that going to look when you come in and you're in control of that? I believe we were very thorough
right now, though,
in both searches, but specifically on the general manager front, very thorough in terms of vetting the candidates, of having multiple different conversations with each candidate to try and, you know, flush out what we felt like was the best process. And I think Ian was outstanding in that department, and we feel very strongly about his vision for us moving forward.
Allison, and then we'll come over here.
Hey, Allison with Channel 2 in Atlanta. I was listening to a podcast that you'd done a couple years ago, and I thought it was interesting. You said you were inspired by the future, but also afraid of falling behind. So how will you use that mentality to become a great GM for the Atlanta Falcons, and how do you view this roster? Do you think this is like a win-now roster, or still needs a few pieces to get there?
Before.
Yeah, I think one of the tougher things just being in this position and building is you've got to be in the now and you've got to be in the future. So I never want to mortgage the future for the now. You've got to be intentional and thoughtful in that approach. And this roster, you know, the cupboard isn't bare, right? We have talent on this roster, but it's going to be my job to continue to add competition to it, to enhance it and help Kevin and his staff get the right players in here so we can consistently compete for championships.
Have success right now.
And then we'll go to Arch.
That's how that.
Vincent Simone, CBS News Atlanta. My question's for Ian, but Matt, first, we miss you at CBS, so just hope you're enjoying your new gig.
Thank you, Vincent.
So Ian, obviously a unique situation coming in as a GM here, but having someone else to report to. What, throughout the process, what made you comfortable with that arrangement, and how do you see this partnership working out in the future?
It's the aligned vision. I feel like Matt and I and Kevin were cut from the same cloth. You know, we were joking about this, his college.
I want to address something, like people saying stuff about our GM having to report at Rob. Like that. And at the end of the day, if you don't own the company or own the team or anything like that, bro, you gonna work for somebody. A GM still working for somebody. He just got a lot of freedom to do a lot of what he wants, get to what goes on within. But they still, at the end of the day, all GMs still report to an owner or one of the CEOs. He's still talking to them. They still above. So I don't like the fact that like certain people, we should have a GM. Got to report to nobody. He still got to report. Like, bruh, you think if I was an owner of a team and I'm seeing my GM go make decisions, he don't say nothing to me? No. Oh, man.
College coach Tom O'Brien, my college coach Al Grove.
At the end of the day, that's my money.
Belichick, Parcells, Coughlin tree. So we see things very similarly.
Yeah.
In that way, the reporting structure, I love it. You know, having a guy like him that knows the lay of the land, who's a legend in the city. I can pick his brain just from a player standpoint and what it was like in the locker room on a consistent basis. We've already had some really good conversations of that. So why not, man? That's a luxury. That's a perk to be able to pick this guy's brain every single day and build that relationship for now and a long time.
Go Arch, and then to Ken Segura, and Mark Zeno, sorry.
Dave Archer, AtlantaFalcons.com, Atlanta Falcons Radio Network. Ian, you were a very sought-after guy. I would assume that there was an interview process that you were putting the Atlanta Falcons through as they were putting you through theirs. How much was it music to your ears to align with what Kevin Stefanski said about coming off the ball and getting after people physically and dominating the line of scrimmage? How much of that kind of blend with what you're talking about?
Yeah, both of these guys are Philly tough, right? You know, so I'm an offensive lineman, so it was music to my ears that they have.
And with that being said, like, he's an offensive lineman, so his mind already works trenches. Like, his mind already works in, like, all right, what can we do? Stefanski and Matt, all of them have been talking about basically big offensive line play. So to me, I think we definitely I say it like that. I was going to say, to me, I think we definitely might end up drafting some offensive line, but I keep forgetting free agency happens before the draft. So I feel like if we have any spots to fill on the offensive line, or maybe even defensive line, I think we are going to maybe fill those in free agency. In the draft, I think we'll feel like our skilled position. Right.
That vision, but in the process, it's for me, it's the fit, right? And
but I also
to have
think
an
just
owner
the way they
like
talk,
Arthur,
and just from one phrase,
his values and what he stands for,
we take
in
care
our
of our
first
own
interaction.
That
It
gives
felt
me
natural.
confidence
It
that
felt
we're
like
going
this is
at
where I
least
belong.
attempt to
Right? We have
re-sign
similar
Kyle
values.
Pitts and Tyler Algier.
And it just felt easy, you know. And I wanted to be here since day one, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I'm appreciative to be in this situation and ready to roll.
Let's go to Mark Zeno, then Ken.
Mark Zeno, ESPN on 92.9 The Game here in Atlanta. Two-part question here from Matt and Ian. Number one, clarifying from last week, is Michael Penix the starter as soon as he is healthy? And if not, is there a plan for competition to bring him in?
Well, neither of us are the head coach of the football team, so we can't answer your question on that. But
I like that.
You know, I think all of us are going to get together.
That's how you deflect bullshit.
Ian's been a part of it for.
I ain't even gonna lie. Bro looked like he was getting ready to ask a bullshit question, and he kind of did. So he like that right there was a controversial question. Is Michael Penix the starter as soon as he come back, or are y'all gonna bring in competition? Now, I kind of can't say it's not a legit question. Then again, it's kind of a shit starter question because they have Kevin Stefanski and Matt previously. Exactly, money. W dodged. He dodged the shit out that question. Yo, W dodged. Matt said weave right up out of that sack. Weave right up out of that sack. Nah, you ain't about to get me with that one. But it is a legit question to ask. But it is a shit starter question because if you ain't been paying attention, Kevin Stefanski and Matt have been basically saying we're moving forward with Penix as being the starter. They never not said we ain't got a plan in place just in case he's not going starting stuff. But yeah, he
I guess 3 days. 3 days. And has had a lot on his plate during that time. I think, you know, as we start to get into this process and dive deeper into.
But also though, I want to say this: that what you know, Matt not gonna be that guy he's not coming in stepping on nobody's toes. He ain't got no ego or nothing because Matt is well within position. Say something like that. Feel me? Your question fair as fuck. It's February though. Exactly, bro. It's way February. You asking that now? That's why I say it's kind of like a shit starting question. Because it's like, bro, it's like the season. this season ain't even over yet, just yet. Like our off season ain't even started. Well, our off season kind of has started, but off season really ain't just started yet. Oh man.
The roster,
Funny,
how it
though.
currently stands, where it's, going in the
But like
future.
I, said,
I think
I
those
like
are
the way Matt
conversations
handled that question.
that'll be
though,
a part of it.
but
Quarterback's
it's
obviously
like,
very important, and we're
he ain't coming in
excited
trying
about
to
Mike
ego
and
and
what
step
he's
on
doing
somebody's
with his
toes and be
rehab.
like, yeah,
I've been up at
he
the
gonna start,
facility the
he gonna,
last
it's,
3
it's,
weeks, and Michael's been
it's
in
hurt.
there attacking that, and he's in a good space right now. So we're excited about where he's at.
And then not
but
only
certainly
that, like
a lot
just
of discussion.
just brung up his
idea
injury.
of using
See, I hate
sparkling
when they do
water
this
and
stuff.
real
Like, bro, why do y'all
squeeze
keep
fruit
doing
is very simple.
that? Crap be happening. Do it. Stop that. But
one question for both of you.
I
Ken
like that he
City with
brung
Atlanta
up
Journal-Constitution.
the injury and stuff. Like,
First, Matt,
we
my
paying
question
attention
is,
to this.
obviously, I'm
Don't
sure
worry
you,
about
you feel very good and confident about what the decisions you guys have made, but is there a party that's like, man, I hope this works out? And then,
Yes, Ken.
okay, you can expand on that. But then Ian, too, this is Matt's first time in this job as the guy interviewing candidates, and you've been in that case on the other side. But I'm curious, kind of, what is that? How would you evaluate his job? How would you compare and contrast the kind of the questions he's asking, the way he conducted interviews with other people in that position in your time as a candidate?
I'll start, of course.
Man,
decisions that you make
bro, you
work
can't
out.
do nothing about it. They can just pop it in. Like, bro, come on, you.
That's what your process and that's what all of your work during that time is
not
for,
even
is to
YouTube,
try and make the best
Netflix,
decisions,
all of them,
with
all
the
these
information that you
streaming
have
services
available to you. And
this
we've
guy-
got a great group
this got
of
unstoppable ads
really
that you
smart
can't
people
do nothing
that see
about.
it differently and kind
wow.
of, have different opinions on things. And I think that part of our process was extremely healthy. But I have a ton of confidence in both Kevin and Ian, given, their experiences in the past, given the type of people that they are, given the amount of reference work that we've done with people who have worked with them, at different stops along the way. So, yeah, you're hopeful.
Money, if
I
you
mean,
still in there,
everybody's
what's
hopeful,
a
but
question
I'm
you
also
hope
very
they
confident
ask,
in the people that we brought into this building.
Or ask either one of them during this
was extremely impressed with Matt just for being in the seat for only a couple days. The questions that he was asking, I think it comes back to, him being a quarterback for so many years, the face of the franchise, and seeing a lot of different things along the way. And in his journey, he was asking questions that most people don't ask right off the bat. And I remember being on the plane, watching Kevin, his introductory press conference, and just how Matt was with his presentation, and it was like he's been in the seat for a long time. So I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Just can't wait to continue to work with him
all the pressers
and push forward.
Go back to home team and then to Joe Patrick.
For both Ian and Matt, for Ian, as you guys approach the calendar for the NFL draft and draft boards, what is it that you need from Matt? It says he has a newly created position. And for Matt, what are you most interested in learning from Ian since he's been in charge of scouting and he's been an assistant GM? Is it something in the draft? And what are you most interested in learning from somebody who has a great deal of acumen throughout different organizations in his career?
Yeah, we're going to start that process here next Monday with draft meetings, and Matt's going to be in there when he can. And I'm going to like picking his brain just for what he sees. You want diversity of thought. You want different perspectives. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the scouts, right? It's going to be analytics. It's going to be our crew. But we're definitely going to take, and then the coaches come in.
I think part of it, a little bit, is just with this question right here, actually, that kind of goes into past, like, what scenario does Matt envision exercising his as right here, pretty much learning somewhat from Ian how to conduct drafts and stuff. Like, we got to also kind of remember this first year, Matt might not be doing too much. He might do a lot of on the field stuff with like players and talking to them and everything, because he still has to learn the ins and out of the office area. You know what I'm saying? Draft room, which this is what he kind of talking about now, learning about like putting draft boards together and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Matt knows or has somewhat some knowledge about this stuff. I'm not saying he just don't have no knowledge, but be in it, to go through it, to know how to do it, everything like that, the ins and out and details of in the office with know. So both of them are going to be kind of relying on each other. But I see a lot of what Matt, his power is going to help in what's going on. So then right now, right now, I want to say at least maybe these first 2 years, it's going to be mainly helping get that corrected. And might go somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? Might matriculate to other places. But I think mainly like his focus is set up and put other things outside of that.
So I'm definitely going to pick his brain. Why wouldn't I? You know, he's a great resource to have.
I think from my perspective, it's a lot of listening. And I always felt that way, you know, as a player, as a young player coming in. I had great coaches that got me up to speed quickly. But it was a lot of listening. And that never really changed, you know, throughout my playing career. It was, you know, how much can I learn from the people around me, and where can I provide value with the comments that I have. But I'm looking forward to getting started. I've never sat in a draft meeting, so I look forward to learning a lot on Monday.
Joe Patrick.
Ian, by the way, I'm Joe Patrick, 99 the game. I don't know if I did that the first time. When you look at this team, I mean, this team beat the Bills last year. They beat the Rams, but then they also had some embarrassing results. So how do you kind of see this team? How do you size up this Falcons team that is clearly, I think, talented enough to beat some of those teams? But how do you build a team that can play with the level of consistency?
Yeah, basically money.
I'm sure you idealize.
Yeah, Joe, I think you got to leave the past in the past first, right? And I think now we're going to be a completely different team moving forward. We've got some RFAs and UFAs that we're going to have to make some decisions.
Also, I think that's also why Matt said, like, he had his introductory stuff like that with him, Blank and stuff. And they was expressing that they're going to do their job, and I'm not going to do it. I think that was another way of saying, hey, y'all not going to throw all this bull crap off on me. Y'all going to come in and do your job. I'm still learning. I'm still kind of learning. I'm still kind of learning this. What's the name? So y'all not gonna throw? Ooh, excuse me. Y'all not gonna throw all the BS on me and ruin my name. Right now, Matt's job is to make sure. Excuse me. How do I have the hiccups? All of a sudden. I think right now Matt's job, make sure, you know, for at least these next 2 years, make sure that and the coaches are doing. What's Larry? His job is to make sure they're doing their job before he takes on anything. And I think,
like Matt said, you know, got here 3 days. Yesterday was my first day in the office. I'm still trying to find where everything is
and stuff like that.
Probably could have had a better tour guide. But you know, so
I'll be honest, that building has changed a lot. Arthur's done a great job. Greg, the team, they've done a great job of outfitting that building. It's a little different than when I was there. That's right.
But we'll get there.
Hey, Ian, real quick, I just want to ask you about like your philosophy. You know, people talk about the eyeball test and then analytics. Like, I want to know, do you have do you prefer one over the other, or is it kind of balanced, or how do you kind of work through that as far as like eyeball test versus analytics?
That's pretty much what he's gonna be doing.
The foundation is going to be evaluation and scouting, and we're going to scout with our eyes, and then you have analytics come in to help inform our decision making, right? To help us maybe answer some questions that we thought we saw, maybe ask some questions that need to be asked, and allow us to do a deeper dive, but you blend the two. And it's not just an analytics and scouting, it's an overall decision making across the board. And
but you said money is right, though.
Mark, and then Miles, and then back to Ken. Mark Zeno.
He basically he's there to.
From your time in Baltimore and Philadelphia and Chicago now to here,
the eyes and ears.
How do you close the gap
don't got in the building and
as a
stuff
GM
like that,
based on what you see off tape?
And then somebody who can come back,
wanted to
break it down to
on
him and
the field from a
simplify
college player
it
to the NFL. I mean,
to the
how do
point
you
where he
close
can
that gap
understand
to make sure that what you're seeing on tape
goes on
will
from top to
translate when
bottom.
you're making a
Because
selection?
Arthur Blank might
How much
own
is the
team.
coaching
Arthur Blank
in
might
your
not
mind?
know.
putting
I'm
that
not
player with the
saying he
coaching
don't,
staff that you
but
have
he
that
might
works
not
matter.
know every little thing.
I wish it was an exact science because I think we'd all
But
get
now
it
you
right.
have a dude
But it's
who
not.
does.
You try to ask as many questions as you can throughout the process. You try to blend all the resources that we have from our coaches, staff, and how do they see this player fitting in their scheme? Has he fit within our community and our building? Do we have the resources necessary to help
Boom.
this player
That's a
continue
better
to
way to
grow
get a
and-
shift manager.
and
Yep,
develop?
basically.
It's a projection,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's
that's an
why
even
we
better
try
way
to
to
use
say
as
that.
many resources as we can to help make an informed decision. But as an evaluator, as a scout, personnel person now as a GM, you'd wish that you bat 1,000 every single time. Unfortunately, we're not, but we're going to try to.
Just talked about
Miles, Ken,
picking
and
players
Allison.
and stuff like that.
Matt, my question, I'm kind of curious, now that all these positions are filled out with Ian and Kevin now in the building, this being a new position for yourself and kind of for the team, what does your job now look like going forward with all
Money, he just asked you a question right here.
these
He
hires
just
now in
asked
place,
you
you
a
guys can kind
question.
of coordinate going forward?
Right
What does
here.
that look
We
like
gonna
for
see
you?
what he say.
Well, apparently Monday, it looks like going to the draft meetings and learning what that looks like. No, I think, Miles, it is, the ability to support these guys in the best way possible. And what does that look like? That looks like support in the building on the day-to-day. It looks like support from external things that we have to do. That's going to be an important thing. I think it's fluid, day-to-day or week to week, depending on the time of the year, what that might look like. I think there's a real evaluation of everything in our building that we have to look at, and making sure that all departments are operating at full strength and the best we can, because these are two very important positions that we have hired, and they set the tone, for how we're going to operate. But I mean, you guys have all been up there at Flowery Branch. There's a lot of people in that building, and their roles are just as significant as anybody else's. And it's going to be really important for us now to dive into all of those different departments and, find ways for us to incrementally improve. And, that job starts Monday.
Ken?
I have a two-part question. One, I've been to a few of these, and I've heard a lot of people talk about we want tough, physical, smart players. I've yet to be at one where they said we want dumb, soft, finesse players. So what is it that you're going to do that's going to differentiate your ability to find these players than your other 31 competitors? And I guess to that end, I'll let you pat yourself on the back a little bit. Is there one or two guys that you can look back like, oh, we could project this guy, whether it's Jordan Malata or someone else, that you saw something maybe that others didn't, that enabled you and your team to build the kind of teams you have?
Yeah, good question. For us, it's going to be the process, right? I can't, I got to prove it, right? I got to prove it. And I feel like
But
the
he
track
just
record,
asked-
the places I've been.
So basically, he just asked them, like, what is his process to, money, like, literally, you just asked that not too long ago, and he he just literally asked it. You not even 5 to 10 minutes after you just asked it. That's crazy. You probably need to be in here and giving this interview. But now he's about to explain how he evaluates talent. Which is one thing.
It's shown that that's what we believe in.
Like to know.
And we've proven that along the way, and now it's my job to prove it here, right? And I look forward to doing that and earning their respect and everybody's respect here, but I look forward to doing that.
But Allison, and then we'll have time for one or two more.
Ian, I know you've only been here for a few days, but at a quick glance, just looking at this.
I want to, what I was saying. For him, I think, let's see. Basically, I think they was kind of asking, like, how you're going to evaluate talent and how can you better players. And he kind of, he got to prove it. But if you watched Baltimore, if you watched the Bears, watch the Eagles, here in these, like, let's just watch those three teams here in the last, let's say, we're going to go 6. We're going to make it an even, say, the last 6 years. Watch them and watch what they build. He's down there been a part of. all three of those teams. And if you see what they built, that's probably what's going to come in and happen here.
Roster, what are your overall impressions, especially with some of the players like a Bijan Robinson,
Well,
AJ Terrell, Drake London, and those type of things?
Yeah, it's like I said, the cupboard isn't bare. We have talented players here, and I'm looking forward to being a part of adding talent
What's
to this
up, Brian
roster
Peoples?
to
What's
help
happening, my
Kevin
guy?
and our staff consistently compete for championships.
Mark, and then we'll wrap it up right over here.
All right, we got two more questions.
Again, Mark Zeno, ESPN 92.9. Ian, what's your philosophy towards?
Why do they keep giving this douchebag the mic? I ain't even gonna lie. I don't like the way this dude look. Like he looked like he in there, like legit. He looked like he in here trying to start a problem. Like his questions, like yeah, I'm in here to find the best question to start a problem.
It's a salary cap and how you want to manage that. Is it pay the bill when it's due at the end of the month, or are we looking to sort of, think long-term and strategize on how you want to do that?
Yeah, we're always going to be thinking long term, but like I said earlier, you got to think about it in the now and you got to look at it in the future. You don't want to have too much dead money, those sorts of things. We're going to be creative. We're going to be innovative in that area moving forward. And again, I have a meeting with those guys here tomorrow, so we'll get going here shortly.
All right, last one right here.
Hey, Ian, Reggie Chapman, 11 Live TV here in Atlanta. I'm curious, you mentioned a little bit earlier in the presser about having a lot of draft picks and making sure you have that stuff kind of figured out. How do you kind of strike that balance of having draft picks but also being aggressive, maybe making moves? Where do you kind of stand on that?
Yeah, I love.
Now, ain't nothing wrong with the question. Next time, put some goddamn CarMax on here, bruh. Yo shit hella ashy. Hold up. No, I'm not gonna even play with that.
Figured out. How do
you? Yeah, put some CarMax on there. It look like somebody slapped chalk dust across your face. Ah no.
Phoenix.
That was my fault. Look like Reggie Chapman. Hey, y'all out of line for that, Reggie Chapman.
I've always wanted to be a GM.
Accidentally. Goddamn. I know how to get right back to it. 30 minutes?
And kind of for the team, what does your job now look like going forward?
Much dead money.
Bruh, you feel me? Look how fast Karma work. Got me.
Innovative in that area
Got
moving
me.
forward.
That had to go all the way back.
Again, I have a meeting with those guys here tomorrow, so we'll get going here shortly.
All right, last one right here.
Hey, Ian, Reggie Chapman, 11 Live TV here in
right
Atlanta.
Here. We good.
I'm curious, you mentioned a little bit earlier in the presser about having a lot of draft picks and making sure you have that stuff kind of figured out.
But
how do you?
I do want to say, I thought where he was going with that question, though, I thought he was like, how do you? Which I like the way he went with the question, but I thought he was going to say like how, what do you do? You can with so little draft picks, because y'all got to remember, you only got 5 draft picks so far. Either gonna have to either make a trade or, hopefully we get story pick. I feel like we should get 1 or 2, maybe. We'll see though.
Kind of strike that balance of having draft picks, but also being aggressive, maybe making moves. Where do you kind of stand on that?
Yeah, I love picks, man. So you use those as currency, right? Either you can use it as trading up, you can trade for players, proven players. It allows you more swings at the plate. So there's different ways you can use them, but that's why we value them. That's why we will value them. We only have 5 right now, but we only had 5 in Chicago my first year there too, and I think we ended up with 10. So we love those picks, and we're going to definitely build through the draft that way.
All right, thank you all. We're going to clear off the table and get set up for some pitchers. Ian's next availability will be at the Combine in Indianapolis, and we really appreciate you being here today.
Okay.
Give us just a minute to get this stage reset. Thank
Wrapping
you.
it up real. So with that last question, I full on expected. Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, both of them clowns. I'm glad both of them wasn't there to ask no. Well, I'm glad he didn't want to ask no. Vino was already. Yeah. I'm not trying to judge nobody, and I'm not trying to be mean. Bro, just looked like he was ready to ask stupid questions. It's like he just had a energy about him, like bro, I want to be here to ask. I don't know. It was just weird. Just came off. He said, "I love it." Money, you caught that too, money? Caught that too? I love picks. So they let me know right now that Darnell Mooney traded off and get another pick. Because he said the first year he was there, they only had 5 double T. Only way you getting some more picks is the Piscatory pick or when we trade some players off. So, and I don't know what all players right off right now. But Darnell Mooney. Oh shit. It's good. Yeah. I mean, look at what Chicago done last year. They went offense. I think might fall into the Trench. Yeah, 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 yeah. They talked. That was like one of the very first things, Brian. That was like one of the very first things they talked about was Trench stuff like that. So he aligns with what Kevin happens, everything like that. So in all honesty, everything in all 3 pressures, everything aligns. So we all have to say this, but should never be no videos coming out that looks like they're not on the same page. Hopefully. And there always can be some, but not. But like I said, gotta make sure we pay attention. Who's on the roster, the trade? Is there even a possibility that we can cut? I mean, sign and trade somebody. Like we might end up doing that to get some more picks. But it's still a lot to be had. Have like I said, we got free agency got them gonna come up first. Then we're gonna have the draft and whatnot. So yeah, it's quite a bit of stuff. Trade trade backs. I wouldn't be mad at that because this year have quite a bit of we have quite a bit of depth along certain spots in the draft. So like trading back would not be bad, man. I wouldn't be mad at trading back more picks, grabbing some more players because really don't like he said the cupboard's not bare or anything. He's not coming in a situation where don't really have the guys. Stuff like really as the team set up, you can win with this team. You have the right coaching, right culture in here, right structure. So all he had to do is come in, add little depth pieces, saying kind of trim the fat a little bit, and we good. It will be on Kevin Skip. At the end of the day, it's really it goes down to this. It goes down to Kevin Stefanski get the best out of this team. That's just really what it comes down to. Other than that, about to get ready. They said they about to start draft meeting stuff like that Monday. So he probably getting integrated. He probably gonna rest of this week is probably gonna be stuff like that, getting all that. Yeah, Monday he's gonna be starting draft process and all that. So, hey man, we'll probably hear some stuff coming out, guys. More projections of who we might get, might be looking at. Now, I seen a video. I mean, I read an article with a linebacker that was uh, that was supposedly talking to Shad Banks. That Shad Banks, go to my channel. I got a video on there. I actually got a video with, I got a actual playlist, bunch of prospects. Y'all go check those out, and y'all tell me what y'all think. And these are guys. I'm not saying these are guys we can just. They just might be sitting there. These guys are going might be in. It might be some high end picks, but also these guys I feel that drop right to us and will be great at wherever we're picking it. So check those out. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share it to your fans and family. Turn your notifications on so you know when I post content. Till next time, guys, stay blessed, stay fresh.